Alright, hello everybody and welcome into another week here in the SFA. We've got watch party for week 11 and it's a unique one as we are doing this right before game day. Sometimes this has to happen this way and we got a nice one for you. Troy is going on the road, take on Southern Miss and Coach B-Dog, who suffered a loss last week to Coastal Carolina. Troy beat Coastal Carolina, so if you see those conference records there in the top middle, 4-1 versus 5-1, this could very well be a game for the division. So as always, we're going to go through the rosters first, and then we'll go ahead and get started. But first, you got to check out our friends over at Home Field. They do crazy work with college teams. They do football, basketball, baseball, wrestling for your schools, vintage logos, super cool, super comfortable. And they're doing a 14 days of March Madness drop every day. So check it out. I post them on Instagram. I post them in Discord. I tell you about it. So yeah. But yeah, so we'll start out here with Troy, who we actually saw on Watch Party a couple of weeks ago when they faced Coastal and they got that 1-point win. We got Wandale Hootie, the SFA player, the freshman quarterback. He played very well, had a couple of nice yams in that game. They also got Hephaestus Ames, the SFA IGR. He was the #1 recruit in the country a couple of seasons ago. At wide receiver, they got Anthony Cook, Brian Jones, and Albert Davis. You might see Al Elliott as well. Tight end is Noah McDaniels. Kind of bad at the tight end position. The offensive line, Martin Salas is hurt. And you got Roberts, Harris, Black, and Hoover. The right side is better than the left side, and that's an SFA player, Marlon Hoover. Let's give him some respect, the SFA offensive lineman. You got Tony Sparks on the defensive end, Wayne Johnson on the other side, and in the middle, you've got Tim Ward and Chris Jackson. At linebacker, Johnny Cobb, Maurice Harris, and Adam Adkins. He had a fantastic game against Coastal Carolina. Probably going to have another great one against arguably the best triple option team in the country. And at corner, Dante Spicer, Tommy Davis, Reggie Thompson. Probably won't see them in coverage too much today. We're gonna have to rely on who can cut off those corners and keep the contain against a triple option team. And at safety, John Wood and Willie Nelson. Their kicker today is going to be Lauren Bradshaw. He's a sophomore. He's 9 of 13 on the year, and he has decent accuracy, not very good power. So keep that in mind. And they're going against B-Dog and Southern Miss. Now, this team's really unique. We thought there'd be severe regression this year, but they've actually played just as well, if not better. Trey White took over for D. Dowis. We'll see him today, 86 speed. Johnny Ward, the SFA reject, or no, he's not a reject. Yes, he is a reject. Johnny Ward, the reject, 72 overall. He probably is going to be the guy next year. Actually, no, maybe Trey White will be the guy. Tybo Rogers, SFA player. DJ Hall, former 5-star, the #2 guy. Might see the little Brandon Robertson. And at fullback, David Robinson here. Wide receiver, the transfer from Kansas State, the SFA player, Xavion Luvu. You got Lionel Clifford. DJ Anderson, we've seen him make great plays on game day style games before. And Maurice James. Tight end is the SFA player Hassan Pippinger. Offensive line, Chase Stallings. Bobby Joe 2, and a community favorite, Matt Weber, Alfie Hayford, the SFA player, and Andre Hawkins. A much better offensive line for Southern Miss. And then Matt Clark on the defensive end. And Quay Camaro, one of the leaders in the country in sacks, is an SFA player. At defensive tackle, Alex Duckett and Joshua Presley. Linebacker, Jordan Anderson. You've got SFA player DeAndre Moose, Larry Toro, the SFA player. And at corner, the transfer from Georgia Southern. He played in the national championship, picked off Oklahoma even, Pablo Smalls. Got Ty Hagelwood, the SFA player, is the #2 guy now, and John Henley and Charlie Gutierrez. At safety, George Smith. And then you've got, I think Wiley is questionable for this game. Maybe he'll play, maybe he won't, but you got SFA player Curtis Blaylock out there anyways, and we might see Darius Covington, another SFA player. And at kicker, Greg Douglas, 74 overall, great power, not so great accuracy, and currently on the year, he is 8 of 11. So overlay is going to go up here while I get us to the start line. B-Dog, if you're here, do you have a preference on jerseys?
Let's go golden out.
All gold. All right. Let's see, where are we? So we are in the Sun Belt here. All right, so this is Troy at Southern Miss. Troy has given them some issues over the years. All right, but so, bro, there's no gold helmet. Boo. I guess we're gonna go black and gold out. Or do you want to go white and gold out?
Black and gold's fun because Troy has a nice white uniform.
Yeah, they do have nice white. Okay, so we'll give you the black. All right, here we go, folks. Watch party, and then we're gonna immediately go into BearCave and game day right after. Well, actually, I gotta post sim games, but you know what I mean. Let's get it going here. Watch party. This week has felt like a billion years long, but we are back, as this is still the #1 defense in the country despite the loss of Coastal last week. On the home turf. Now, last time we watched these guys, you had Troy, and they played really poorly in the first half, turned it on the second half with some big plays, and I think Cryo is joining us here today. So, Cryo, what is your opinion on this game?
The crazy thing is, with Southern Miss being 7-2, they still could not win the conference if Troy wins today. 5-1 in conference for Southern Miss, while Troy is 4-1. They had the loss to FAU a few weeks back, but it's a very popular game day team. Hephaestus Ames was one of those players that had 6.1 yards per carry and really was the lead cause for Troy managing that upset against a very electric Coastal Carolina. So I expect this to be a closer game because of how good Southern Miss's defense is, but definitely Hephaestus Ames needs to have a big day for them to win.
And Troy, they actually won the toss and elected to receive. Interesting choice. Now, going against triple option teams, you want to get out to a lead early, so you force them to throw. So here comes Wandale Hootie, the SFA quarterback freshman, along with Hephaestus Ames. He had a beautiful yam against Coastal, and now he's running quick option here. I'm not always a big fan of running any kind of an option when you're going against a triple option team, but it works there. Hootie, the size is very different between him and Hephaestus, as he dumps this one off, and that is going to be a first down, Elliott. So as the top defense in the country, it'll be interesting to see them actually in action for once. It's already a quick first down. More quick option this time, and a broken tackle. Oh, he's still pushing. Gets about 3 out of that.
You brought it up, too, that this is the first time that we're watching them on Watch Party. You said you watched them on BearCave a little while and at patreon.com/SFA on the playoff push. You did mention that they did look kind of lethargic on the offense when they were on BearCave.
Yes, so oh my, what a big hit there. But yeah, I will be interested to see this offense because they had the chance to close it out against Coastal, and they just couldn't. And then they gave CJ Irons a chance, and the rest is history. Big hit there, man.
Yeah, you did bring it up before how Southern Miss's B-Dog, he's always had good teams. D. Dallas last year, you've mentioned it, about how he just can't get over the hump. He always, can't get it done against the really good teams, even though he is really good on paper. With the roster he's building is really good as well.
Yeah, and they forced the 3 and out there with the defense on the little mid-screen. Doesn't work. So we'll see Southern Miss in action. So the aggressive attempt on the coin toss does not work out. So John Henley returns it for 8 here. And we'll get to see Southern Miss triple option offense led by White. All right, they're coming out in a shotgun to start the drive here. Interesting call. He's going to move a man in motion. No, they run quick option, and the ball's on the ground. Troy picks it up. There they go down the sideline. Diving man misses. Touchdown, Troy. One play, and Wayne Johnson takes it the distance. Oh, boy.
And this is exactly what happened against Coastal Carolina. You said they turned it on in the second half, and you know how they turned it on in the second half? It was those opportunistic plays by the defense. And if Troy's going to start like that early, oh man, imagine a 5-5 Troy possibly winning the Sun Belt in that division. Oh man, that's going to be
Yeah.
very
Man,
interesting.
what a bad dude. One played, you got a defensive score, unbelievable start. I'm kind of shocked. The home fans are shocked here as we're getting a studio timeout. All right, we're back. So quick 7-0 lead here for the Troy Trojans. And I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know if he even attempted to pitch that. It might have just been a true fumble.
It was a true fumble, yeah. I did look. It was a true fumble. He thought about pitching it, but the coverage was just too good.
And next play, he comes back and keeps it himself and goes for 31. Trey White. That's a way to redeem yourself right there. You put the ball on the ground, then you immediately call your own number the very next play. And that's what we're expecting here from Southern Miss. So we'll see if they can settle in. Gave up a free 7 points. They are going to run hurry up, so they must like the look that they're in. Man in motion, they're just going to toss that out. And on the run is Hassan Pippinger. You don't often see a toss to the tight end. Works out there. So 2nd and 7, it looks like an I formation, but they very well could run option out of this. They are just going to throw it. First throw of the day here for White. He floats it and just over out of reach for the receiver on the out route. It's now 3rd and long incoming. Maybe fringe field goal range, but I'd imagine it's a little bit too far. So White's going to throw it again here. He has some time. He delivers a strike, and it's almost intercepted. 4th down. And they're going to go for it. No man's land. Not really much to lose here. Punt's not going to net you all that much. So split back set here. 4th and 7. He drops back again. And he delivers that. That's a first down and a lot more. DJ Anderson. Talked about him in the pregame. He's made some big plays over the years on these streams. He does it again right there. Keeps the drive alive. Now Southern Miss throwing it again. Wide open. That's Anderson. And he gets inside the 10. He gets about 20 there. And immediately Southern Miss is looking for a quick response. Just so much separation there. Obviously, Troy thinks that they're going to be running the ball the majority of the time. Already 4 throws. As we're at this 6-yard line, now they're back into that traditional option formation. Man in motion. Fullback dive, and he gets some room. Touchdown, Southern Miss. David Robinson pounds it up the gut. 7-7. And that's the kind of offense we were expecting.
Yeah, and I think with Troy, overall, their defense isn't that good. You know, you have some good players here and there, but it really relies on that opportunistic play from, you know, the defense in that sort of scenario. You know, that's the reason, like, Southern Miss can run the ball, but they cannot.
We've got a crash. Bum bum bum.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we got a visual glitch. The game's still going, but I can't see it. So I gotta force quit everything. So as always, guys, you know the rules. We just gotta... I'm gonna force quit here. Oh dear. Control Alt Delete. Yeah. And tab.
Yeah.
So as always, we just cancel out that game and go again. So B-Dog gets a little lucky there.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to get loud for a second. Cover your ears.
Oh, you're on preview, so it's only going to be loud for you. So. Yeah, I know B-Dog. I know you hate Troy, but you didn't have to, like, pull TC's Wi-Fi ad for it. Jesus, it was a 7-7 game.
It's just a part of doing an emulator.
It's just, I don't like to see Trey White's post action in a game do that. I wasn't even able to see the live game post from someone. He's throwing better than D ever could, so he's got that going for him. Until D would like randomly throw like bombs though.
Well, yeah, D Downs is the type of guy that would go 0 for 10 and then throw an 80-yard touchdown. So, it's
Bro. Of course, the first crash of the year is...
when you have time constrained.
Yeah. That's how it always goes.
TC, I think I've talked to you about this, but so I signed another tight end. Obviously, he would be the backup to Pippen Joel. Can I move him to wide receiver, and how would that work with stats wise?
Yeah, you can move him to wide receiver. It just depends. Like if it was a receiving tight end, then the overall difference won't be all that much. If he's like a blocking guy, then it might be a little bit more. All right, so we're back. So as always, the last gameplay will be included in the VOD, but it will not count, obviously. So that was just kind of a preview for you guys. So we're just gonna jump forward so we don't miss out on our AI. We still should be fine considering these games, especially triple option teams, typically go a little bit faster. We will see. But here's Southern Miss. We're going to kick off, so a different start here now. Troy is going to start out with the ball. Face this Ames.
I'm getting deja vu, TC. It's like we just saw this. Anyways.
we only lost about 5 minutes of action. And we lost a crispy defensive touchdown, yes. But here's Wandale Hootie to start the game. He dumps that off to Facetis, gets a little stiffy, and he gets about 6.
And bringing up Wandale Hootie, on your echelon of freshman QBs in the league, especially SFA players, where do you rank Wandale Hootie?
As he gets a nice little sliding first down. I mean... It's too early to tell because you have Levi Kazerny, the 5-star, who's redshirted, right? And then so we don't know if he's going to be good. Clayton Tune, he's only had 3 games over at Georgia Tech. Big start, sure, but and then Nolan Figg sucks. Tracy Potes is undefeated, and Ike Deason is a backup. So, yeah, I mean, he's in the thick of it there, but they are 4 and 5, so I probably wouldn't think he's too high up there. Give me Tracy Potes.
Ew. I'm not a big fan of Tulane myself, but...
All right, so Wandale Hootie across the 50 now. Number 1 defense in the country. A quick bubble screen, and Albert Davis gets maybe 1 before he's brought down. Starting out 3 for 3 here for Wandale. Nice start. Working on definitely one of the best secondaries in the group of 5. As that is going to be an overthrow. So 3rd and 9 now. Hootie. He had time. He just dumps it off, and it's tipped away. Ty Hagelwood, the SFA corner, comes out of nowhere and tips it away. And that's 4th down. They're going to have to punt. Best defense in the country. That's what they do. You get to around the 50, and they stop you. So now we'll see the Southern Miss offense coming out for the first time today. Get to see Trey White in action. We've never seen him before. Haven't ever seen him, fumble it on the first play or anything.
Totally not. This is our first time looking at the Southern Miss offense.
This play is a very low bar. Anything better than giving up a Troy touchdown here is a success. as they're going to toss that out to Tybo Rogers, and he gets about 1. So we'll take it. Tybo, he's had a pretty lackluster career, I would say. You know,
Man,
he
Tybo
had
has shown up this year though.
yeah,
He was
he's
top
starting to
5 in
grow.
rushing at one point.
He's getting a quick option. White's going to keep this one. He bounces off a man, gets a first down. That is a big man run. Trey Wright for 9. That was a nice little scamper.
Yeah, I mean, talk about top 5 in rushing. I mean, Darren Archer. Oh, what a player. Let me tell you, BearCave today is going to be fun.
As he's going to scramble here again. Another first down. He stays on his feet, gets hit hard, but hangs on to the rock. And that's 17, so Trey White using his legs early and often. Yeah, just nobody open there, and he has a ton of green grass. Troy's going to really have to put out those spies and make sure that they play contain on the edge as we get more option looks coming out. This one's going to be triple option. And once again, they don't check Trey White. You got to make this guy pitch. I know he's not as, I'd say, explosive or elusive or dangerous as D. Dowis, but look at him go. He already has 3 big runs on this drive alone. As we get a jet sweep here, Tybo, he gets to the edge. He pushes off 2 guys and gets 4.
He's more Cam Newton's-esque inside. I think he's like 6'4", 230 though.
Yeah, so he runs with a lot more power. So 2nd and 6 now across the 50. And another jet sweep right up the gut. That's DJ Hall. He gets 4 this time. Will be a 3rd and short, right where you want to be.
Yeah, and talking about White, like, he's really good with awareness on just being able to take off. That's what you love about those mobile quarterbacks that have decently high awareness, with his being like a 75. It's good to know that he's able to recognize that no one's open and just takes off for the easy gains. And I mean, if you're not going to play, contain, he's going to keep running all over this Troy defense.
Nice little run there from the fullback. Love a triple option team that actually utilizes the fullback, unlike Southern Miss for the last 4 years. Never gave the ball to Peyton Hillis once. As we've got 2nd and 9 now. Threatening the red zone, threatening our first score of the ball game. A little Maryland eye action. Love this formation. So they're going to just run a little bit of power, maybe a stretch, and that's going to be 2 yards for Tybo. Not all that explosive. We got 3rd and 7 incoming. They converted their first one. They may have to throw it here for the first time. Zon Pippinger in the game at tight end. Man in motion. And they're going to throw a screen pass out of it. All the room in the world. Oh, what a block. Running over 2 guys is Tybo inside the 5. Look at him lower the head. I love this play. He had the lead blockers, and then one gets run over. He runs over 2 on his own. All right, here comes Southern Miss. Can they punch it home?
Yeah, I have the script here. Fumble recovery for a touchdown is still in play right now. So
Okay, as we're going to get a flip out wide. That play never works, especially down here by the end zone. Johnny Cobbs with the TFL. That is perhaps the worst play in simulation video game football ever. As we got 2nd and goal now. Run triple option the opposite way, and he flips it out. That was dangerous, but it works. Tybo Rogers puts him on the board. 7-0 Golden Eagles. Gotta say, he flirted with that a little too much. That was risky, but it worked out.
And that's the thing with the Southern Miss team. They kill you by just slowly running the ball and just taking a lot of time of possession off the clock. That's the team the Southern Miss team is really good. They really capitalize and are the definition of having a strong run game and just having a strong defense. Just they won't score as much as, a Coastal Carolina with irons, but they still control the tempo of the game, and that's exactly what you want in the SFA.
All right, so Troy coming back out for their 2nd possession. They stalled out around midfield last time. Hootie had a decent start, and then he kind of fell off. He's going to hand off to Ames here. He finds a little bit of room, but brought down by the corner. If you can get some decent corners here in run defense, that's always a plus. So when we saw them against Coastal, they had a very slow start on offense, and then the big play in the third quarter is really what got them that win. As now Ames goes to the opposite side. He pushes forward, and he gets about 4. It's going to be a 3rd and 3 now.
Yeah, like I said before, Hephaestus Ames really had a big day with that 6.1 yards per carry. Definitely going to be someone that they need to rely on to sort of get this offense going.
Yeah, so 3rd and 3, quick option, and no, that goes nowhere. Hootie couldn't get the flip out. Brought down by Dwight Benson, as that's going to be a 3 and out here. So Southern Miss going to get a chance to extend the lead already. And Hephaestus Ames is the brother of Apollo Ames, who went to Buffalo, won a national championship with them. As Southern Miss, oh, they put it on the ground, but they pick it up. Gonna get a decent return out of it. You always got to watch that into your hands. Henley unable to do it there. Might have lost a couple of yards on the return because of that.
You know, B-Dog did sign Southern Miss to a recent sponsorship with Butterfingers, the candy, so
Okay.
living up to the name there.
There's a deep drop here for White. He's looking to Yam, and he goes down. Nobody open downfield. Looks like Troy was ready for the change in scheme there, and Trey White goes down. Wayne Johnson. I think we've heard that name before.
Yeah, I can't quite put my finger on it.
So
I remember hearing the name before.
So 2nd and 16, back to the Maryland Eye, trying to maybe just get a little bit of this back as they run quick option, and that goes nowhere. Great gap discipline there from the defense. Somebody had the running back, somebody had the quarterback, somebody had the fullback. Everything was icy there. As now Southern Miss is in 3rd and long. Not a lot of plays in general for a 3rd and 17, let alone an option playbook. Pippinger in motion. Looks like they are showing a blitz. They are going to bring that blitz. Picked up for the most part, and he goes down. They got through. And that was just a horrific attempt at a drive there from Southern Miss. 3 and
And
out.
I think if you are defending against the triple option like a Southern Miss, I think the one thing you really need to have is really disciplined players with good awareness. You know, someone that way you can sort of worry about all 3 levels: the fullback, the tight end, the quarterback, and the running back, with all being rushing threats out of most of those triple option playbooks. You know, having good awareness guys really helped out Troy there.
Got a little stiffy there and gets a nice 16 yards out of it. Ryan Morgan. So great field position now for Troy as they will come out at the 50. Right on the 50. Can Troy stomach some offense? They've yet to really put together a drive. They're going to get an audible here. Trips right in shotgun. They're just going to delay, give it to Ames, and he spins out of 2 men and gets 4 out of it. Impressive. Great animation there. Great help. Now it's 2nd and 6. First quarter winding down here in Southern Miss. I don't know what is this? Are they in Jackson, Mississippi? I don't know. As we dump that off, and Ames never saw it. Tipped away by DeAndre Moose, but Ames, that was dangerous. He didn't see that one coming. A little mistimed route there. 3rd and 6 now. Hootie alone. They bring a blitz. Over the middle, he hits him, and that's a completion. Al Elliott, once again, making a nice play. His first catch of this day. And that's a big conversion. If you're Troy, you do not want to get the ball at the 50 and just have a 3 and out. So now they're at the 30. They don't have the best field goal kicker, so they're going to need to get closer if they want any points. Hootie, he has some time. He's yamming it deep to the end zone, and it's overthrown, tipped away. Just gave his receiver no chance there to go up and grab it. And when you're facing the #1 defense in the country, points are at a premium, so anything you can get. And that 2nd and 10 goes nowhere. Third down.
Yeah, and I sort of get what they're trying to do here. They're trying to, bait them in with Hephaestus Ames sort of being that major Russian threat and like sort of throwing it short just so they can take a deep yam every once in a while to sort of catch the defense off guard. But this Southern Miss
Oh,
defense has been really good.
and that's a drop. And you can't do that against the best defense in the country. You just help them out. You had the conversion. So 4th and 10 now. They're going for it. Out of field goal range, no man's land. It makes the most sense here. So Hootie, only a 4-man rush. He delivers a strike. Can he get in bounds? He does. First down, Anthony Cook. Big play there.
Yeah, and against Coastal Carolina, that was a name you heard a lot, especially with those out routes. Anthony Cook was surprisingly one of the more active players on that Troy offense to sort of get that tempo going. So watch out for him in the second quarter.
So as we flip sides, Troy has entered the red zone. Wandale Hootie putting together a great drive here. They're stacking the box. They are going to throw it. Hootie takes off. He finds room to the outside. He finds some room. He's going to the 5, and he's hit hard by the safety. Big time run there. Yeah, Wandale Hootie, man, he's not known for his speed. He's more of a gunslinger, but he can run it with the best of them as he is pretty big. DeAndre Moose couldn't bring him down. So first and goal for the Trojans. Pistol with Ames. Hand it to Ames. Up the gut. And no, they stop him. A big time hit. You have to do more than just a dive play to get into the end zone here against these guys. Second and goal. Not the best spot. I thought he was closer. They're still in shotgun. They're not going to go pound the rock as they hand it up. Ames, he gets a hole. Touchdown, Troy. They tie it up.
Yeah, Hephaestus Ames just a stud, He's someone along with Wandale Hootie, both big bodies there in the backfield that are not afraid to take a hit and just be ready for anything that comes their way.
And both Sims today that took very different paths, but they both found their way to 7-7. So we are where we're supposed to be here as Southern Miss now gets the ball, and he's still on his feet. Interesting run there from Henley. So we're in the second quarter now. As it was a terrible drive for Southern Miss on that last one. Can they stop going backwards? They're going to run triple option. Nice pull there. And White, he doesn't flip it. Wait, he does! They're calling it a fumble. If this stands, it will be another turnover today for Southern Miss. This one not
I told
returned
you,
for a
TC.
touchdown.
It was in
And
the
whoa,
script.
whoa, there it is. I thought it came out late. We'll have to check. And yeah, that knee is down, folks. Southern Miss is going to retain possession. And, sometimes it pays to get lucky. Remind Trey White, he has to hang on to the ball there. He got bailed out this time. But B-Dog, man, he might need to talk to Trey White about ball security, as we've seen about a quarter and a half of action. He's already put the ball on the ground like 3 times. So 2nd and 4 now. Turns it into a 6-yard gain. And they're going to run triple option the opposite way. Flips it out to DJ Hall, and he gets a first down. DJ Hall was a 5-star in-game recruit, not an SFA player, but he decided to come to Southern Miss. He's been an integral part of their plans over the last 4 years. So 1st and 10 now. He's in motion. They do the same play. Flip it out to DJ on the edge. He breaks one. He gets a block, and he gets a first down. DJ Hall finding some room now. John Wood at the safety, already 5 tackles. And now we got more Maryland eye action. Get a run up the gut. That goes nowhere. And speaking of, Maryland has a big game today as they face Penn State a little later on, trying to keep their dream undefeated record alive. Well, we have a stacked BearCave and one of the most anticipated game days in recent memory as well. 2nd and 7 now. We get triple option. Broken tackle, and he still flips it out. And they trip him up. That could have been a big one for Tybo. He's clapping, but he left some yards on the table as now they're at the 32. So now they're going to actually hurry it up, and they're in split back set. Looking like they might throw the ball here. And no, it's going to be a shovel option. Trey White keeps it. He gets the edge, and he gets another first down. This drive going very well for Southern Miss. They're really just getting everything they want, 10 yards at a time. So 1st and 10 as we're threatening the red zone. Pippinger in motion. Hands this off. Tybo up the gut. He breaks one tackle. It seems like when we get towards the red zone, he starts lowering that head and he runs over a couple of guys.
I mean, yeah, you love to see it. That's the type of running back you want, to be on your team, to like really fight for those extra yards when you know they matter the most.
And that's going to be a touchdown as Trey White keeps it himself. Nobody checked him, and he scampers for 17. Southern Miss retakes the lead. That was too easy.
Yeah, nothing but green grass on that right side. Amazing blocking. I will say that offensive line has been blocking outstanding for Southern Miss for the most part. So it's very, very interesting to see that they're really not checking the quarterback at all. I know he's not as high of an overall as D. Dallas was last year, but he can still be a threat on the ground.
All right, so Troy once again in a spot where they have to mount a response. And Southern Miss is already at the average their defense gives up for an entire game. So Troy is going to have to do something special here if they want to win this game. And the aim's going backwards. That's not what you want. Larry Toro gets his first tackle of the day, the SFA player.
I mean, we said the same thing when they faced Coastal Carolina, CC, but that second half, the way they responded in the second half is huge. I know that you're looking probably for a score if you're Troy, but definitely those halftime adjustments are the biggest thing to worry about.
That's very true. The one thing to keep in mind, though, when you're facing a triple option team is if they get the lead, they can just sit there and run the ball for 3 yards over and over and bleed the clock, and the game is pretty much over. Their ability to shorten possessions. And Troy now is in their own 3rd and 17. We saw this a little bit earlier on the other side. See if they can find a conversion. They are going to run a screen pass to Ames, and that goes nowhere. Wait a second! Oh, he trips over his own feet. That could have been special. But Southern Miss does survive, and it's going to be a 3 and out.
Yeah, and I mean, this isn't really a shot. It's just saying it as an example. I mean, we looked at East Carolina versus Georgia Tech. That's such a good thing to point out because once Georgia Tech took the lead on ECU, it sort of muffled their game plan to the point where they had to fire their offensive coordinator because they got into a game plan where they weren't comfortable, but Georgia Tech was. So very good point on the triple option.
So now we'll see Maryland either is going to run some quick option, run some very safe routes, and there goes Trey White. He finds the sideline. Can he outrace him to the end zone? And he's pushed out at the 3. Trey White for 56. Somebody's got to start picking the quarterback first. Can take care of the pitch man later. Get the quarterback on the ground.
I mean, at this point, TC, the single rushing QB record's going to be broken because they are just letting him run all over. Like, he's going to be the reason they lose if Troy gets easily upset here.
And Tybo, he finds a hole. That's a touchdown. Southern Miss takes a 2-score lead in the second quarter. Everything coming up Golden Eagle right now. 2 plays, 58 yards, a 24-second drive. And that is what you call the floodgates opening up. I don't know why the rock is the you see that the chest paint said the rock is the rock Southern Eagles Golden Miss or
is Southern Miss acknowledging their tribal rock?
Okay.
What are we doing here?
All right, so 1st and 10 now for Troy. Can they stop going 3 and out? Wandale Hootie, he gets a delay give here for Ames. That gets about 6. And you did mention it earlier, is in the Coastal game, in the first half of that game is much like this. Ames didn't get a lot of running room, and then they were kind of bad. And then in the second half, Ames started running the ball very well. It opened up the deep passing for Wandale Hootie, so we'll see if they can get back to that, as now they're out empty. 2nd and 4, as we're about halfway here through the second quarter. Corner blitz, and he hits his man, and it's dropped. You got to help your quarterback out here, folks. That's the second drop on the day. He hit him right in the numbers.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that these wide receivers weren't doing against Coastal Carolina. They were catching balls left and right. Like this is definitely a subpar performance in the receiver category just because they are not helping out Wanda Hootie in the slightest. At least if you're Troy here, you're looking at least just for a score. You just want to get within a score by halftime.
That third down, it worked that time as they went back to Anthony Cook again here. 7 yards this time. So we're under 4 minutes. Troy definitely can stretch this out. Remember, Southern Miss does get the second half kickoff. So Troy definitely wants to keep this at a score. They don't want to go down even further. So we're going to get an audible here late. Only 3-man rushing over the middle. That was to nobody. He overthrew about 2 different guys. So a 3rd and short incoming. 2 of 6 today on 3rd down. Not the best. Wandale Hootie under 50% completion percentage. 3rd and 3, quick option. He does get out to Ames. He has to make a move, and he does. He outraced the defensive end to the line, and he gets a 1st down. But you see that 10 rushes for 19 yards. That's not going to win you football games if you're a Troy Trojan fan. So we're going to get an audible now into the pistol here for Wandale. They're going to hand this one up to Ames. What a move there after the big block from the guard. And that gets 9. Averaging just 2.5 a carry. But they are across midfield here. 2nd and short. A handoff here, and they get the blocking. A spring Ames. He breaks 1, and he gets 20 out of it. Just as I called him out, he starts running well. Beautiful blocking there by Marlon Hoover.
Yeah, Hafezus Ames has been one of my favorite players to watch out of all the watch parties we've had. He's he can barrel over people whenever he wants, but also he's very agile. He can make a man miss if he needs to.
Wandale, he gets hit hard. Did he pop up, though, as his leg may have gotten caught underneath that defender? That could have been gruesome, but he looks like he's all right there. Phew. 2nd and 6 now. Quick throw. Oh, that was dangerous. The blitzing corner never saw it. Look, he could have picked that off, but he was blitzing. That's a case where it's okay to abandon your assignment there. If you see the ball coming right at your face, he could have gotten a pick 6.
Yeah, he got hunting like he was Rudolph instead of being blitzing there. That was quite the questionable move. He saw the ball. He just really thought he could get the sack there, but unfortunately not.
So 3rd and 4 now. They bring a blitz again. It's picked up. Ames, he can't get the 1st down. So now decision time. Do you settle for a field goal, keep it at 2 scores, or you go for it? Well, they're going for it. To them, the field goal does nothing. So we'll see if they can punch this a yard. They're going to throw it. Nothing open. He has to float it last second. 2-on-1. It's intercepted. They're getting no points at all. Last second, he just had to throw a heave to the end zone. And that's intercepted. Just never a chance. That was a horrific attempt. All right, so Southern Miss now on offense. And they have a chance to add points and get the ball back. So everything just stacked in Southern Miss favor, and lucky for them, as this could very well be a game for the division. A loss here to Troy would just be diabolical. 2nd and 4, they are making moves. Not really Not really worried about the clock just yet, as they do get a first down there to Tybo.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned it here, and I mentioned it before. The blue square decided to interrupt us, but Troy still has the ability to win the division if they win this game, which is crazy to think even after their loss to FAU.
And Hassan Pippinger gets involved now in the pass game. His first catch of the day, he nets him 6. And now they're going to start hurrying up as we're at about a minute mark. Remember, they do have a pretty powerful kicker, so may not need as many yards as you think as White now. And they don't give him the first, so that's huge. The clock keeps ticking. I don't think the Southern Miss guys notice. Now they do, as they're going to start hurrying it up here. Wide receivers got to jog back. 3rd and inches. He's yamming that deep. 1-on-1, and it's tipped away. Dante Spicer. Big play there. And Southern Miss not getting aggressive on the inch. I don't know, man. Triple option team, I might just power that if I'm a triple option offense. But they're going to play it safe, up 2 scores. You got to respect it as he tries to angle that towards the corner, and it just goes into the end zone. So Southern Miss now, you definitely can just take a couple of knees, go into the locker room. But you do have 3 timeouts. You have 30 seconds. Something magical could happen. Could be a screen pass here to Ames, see if he can get any yardage out of it, and he does not get out of bounds. So they're not using their timeouts. Looks like that's going to be the end of the half, but they are hurrying it up, weirdly enough. Do they think the clock is stopped? I don't know. Looks like this may be the last play of the half. Yep, so they're going to make this the last play of the half. They're not going to snap it. So Wandale Hootie drops back, and he yam it deep, and he's sacked. Quay Camaro, the SFA player, gets his first sack of the day as we hit halftime, folks. Southern Miss leads 21-7.
Alright, I gotta head out.
Peace.
Thank you, guys.
Remember, folks, we got a full slate of SFA football coming at you today, a little later on. Full week 11. We'll have sim games. We'll have BearCave. We will have game day. And then we'll also have the number 1 quarterback in the class, Lavello Blackley. Where will he wind up? Where will he take his talents? Got any predictions, Cryo?
I mean, after Auburn got a second quarterback, you could say anyone at this point, you know?
Very true.
It really could be anyone. Like, the signing days have been very, very interesting. You have teams like UNLV sort of replacing big needs, sort of like that David Dennis that left outside linebacker, who was a 96. They needed a replacement, so they went after that. Or you could look at someone like a Jax Joker going to a Louisville. There's a bunch of different players that have gone to different teams that you kind of don't expect. That's something with the SFA this year that's been really interesting.
That's true.
So
you never know who's going to pop up. As now Southern Miss, they get a couple of pancakes. Follow your blockers, dang it. As we get a flag now, are they going to get some unnecessary roughness? No, it's going to be clipping. Arguably the same thing as Craig Rollins puts them all the way back at their own 15. What a buzzkill. And Coach B-Dog hates it. All right, so we got about 18 minutes here for Troy to make a comeback. And we know Southern Miss is just going to run that iconic triple option, try to run this game out, get out with their 8th win of the season. He flips it out there, and this is a new running back out. That's Brandon Roberson, the 3rd guy in the depth chart. He's taken over Ray Rice's role from a year ago.
Yeah.
Yes, Ray Rice.
Yeah. It's 2 weeks in a row at this point.
2nd and 7 now. Trey White, he's having himself a great game. That one gets tipped away. That's only his 4th throw. So this is a great example to people who run triple option offenses to understand how the game works. In this sim, Southern Miss has yet to have a game where he has yet to be trailing in this game, and he's now thrown his 5th pass. Whereas in that first sim, they gave up the defensive touchdown immediately, and he had like 7 or 8 passes on the first 2 drives. So it's that just shows how the game dictates the play calling based on the score. As we get a 3 and out for Southern Miss. So a great opportunity now for Troy. Are we going to see the same Troy we saw against Coastal? If we are, we're going to see a Wandale Hootie yam for a touchdown. So I love watching this guy throw the ball deep. He is a true gunslinger. But he's going to audible under center. All right, maybe he sees something. He's still going to throw it. And he's yamming that one deep. He hits his man down the sideline. Touchdown, Troy. Anthony Cook right on cue, baby.
And this is the guy that I told you early in the game to watch out for, because his name was called, I believe, 8 times at least. And he made a lot of big plays against Coastal Carolina. This was a guy that you needed to worry about and write in your notebooks. What a throw. What a touchdown. That was a hoot, if I do say so myself.
Okay. As it goes through, there's no studio update. But that might be the first play I've called perfectly, like a yam that I've predicted since the Hail Heimlich play. That's crazy. Oh, and we get another nice return. This one will stand. So immediately now, Southern Miss back on their back foot. Gave up a yam, and 3 and out in a yam. All the momentum back with the Trojans. They just may be a great second half team.
Yeah. They're doing their best UNLV impression with the special teams being not as good. But, you take the good with the bad in this situation.
And immediate pressure. Trey White tries to escape, and now he goes down. Tim Ward. Penetration up the gut. Look at that. Immediate. Cobb's in on the tackle as well. Troy is reeling. So 2nd and 14 now. Under center yet again. They're going to throw it again. White finds his man, Tybo, breaks a tackle and gets 10. Much more manageable 3rd down, much more manageable down to gain where they normally are. Nice little broken tackle there as well. Tybo's been good about breaking the tackles today.
Yeah, it's been good. I've actually been really impressed with this Troy defensive line. Their average overall is a 71, yet they're getting a lot of pressure, even with this good offensive line on Southern Miss, so...
3rd and 4. Trey does get it out to his man, the fullback, who does turn it upfield and get a 1st down. Boof. All right, so Southern Miss now battling back, not going to let Troy get the better of them. So 1st and 10, they are going to throw it. And once again, just completely breaking down immediately, and Trey White can't escape. Tim Ward, the 2nd time on this drive. A great spin move there, past 2 guys.
He's proving a lot during watch party that you said before. Overall doesn't matter. 73 overall, redshirt junior, and he's been lights out this game.
Yeah, and that's a great case. Like, all that matters there is his finesse rating. Nothing else mattered there. He used his finesse rating, and he got to the quarterback. As now Trey White, he's trying to escape. Ball's on the ground. This one's going to stand. And Troy picks it up. Their first turnover of the day. What a mistake. Trey White tried to make something happen. He never saw the guy coming from behind. And he just whoop. And that's Ward again.
And who else? I was about to say, Tim Ward got off his tackle the moment he saw the quarterback running to knock that ball loose. Tim Ward's having himself a day, and I'm loving it.
All right, can Wandale Hootie and company respond now? They can get back in this game. They can tie it up. Wandale, he's going to throw that wide open, man. He's down the sideline, and that's going to be 25. Troy having a big day. That's Al Elliott. Nobody covered him.
Yeah, and I know we talked about Southern Miss before. They were on the G5 ladder on your rankings, but then after that second loss, it sort of knocked him out of contention. What do you think about them rest of season though?
Definitely a big threat to win the Sun Belt. You know, all they got to do is win this game, right? And then they have to just redeem themselves and beat Coastal. The problem is you got 2 losses. So if you want any chance of getting the G5 bid, you got to hope UNLV and Tulane lose, which is kind of a tall ask at this point. And you got 2nd and 6. Wandale floating that dangerously, but he gets the completion. It's going to be a 3rd and short. So 21-14. 3rd and 2. Really, really need it here. Everybody's down in the box. Got 8. He's going to throw it. He hits the flat. That's a first down and a broken tackle. Albert Davis.
Yeah, the blitzes that Southern Miss is sending is just not affecting Wanda Hootie in the slightest. And that's the thing that's really impressed with me. He's been able to throw under pressure for most of this game.
Now, quick option gets it out to Ames. Can Ames do something magical? He breaks 1. Brought down around the 3. So 2nd and goal now for Troy. Trying to tie this game up. The fans can't believe how quickly this game has turned. So Hootie, plenty of time as he goes down. What a hit. DeAndre Moose, the middle linebacker, veteran SFA player, gets the sack. He battles through, and then an absolute spear. So now 3rd and forever here for Wandale. It's going to be about 11 yards to pay dirt. 4 wide. Ames in the backfield. 3 down linemen. Only 3-man rushing. And that's tipped and almost picked. Curtis Blaylock, the SFA player, had a chance at it. 4th down. And they are bringing out the field goal unit. Comfortable pushing this to 4. They don't want to curb their momentum that they've generated here in the 3rd quarter. And the kick is up, and it is good. So 21-17, and that's how quickly a game can turn. Southern Miss had a 3 and out. Troy has a yam. Southern Miss fumbles. Troy got a field goal. So what is next as we got about 13 minutes left here in Watch Party. Been a great day so far. And we even got a little bit of free football there at the beginning. A little precursor. A little appy.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw it on the screen. Like, the Troy defenses have the 6-yard average for their total defense when it comes against the Southern Miss team, but they have 4 sacks. That's the thing that you really should look into with this Troy defense, that they've been able to get pressure to the quarterback even with their low ratings. It's just the defensive schemes and the blitzes that they are throwing at Southern Miss have been kind of frustrating, especially in the second half.
So Henley, he will return soon. He strained the pec there. 2nd and 4, though, and they give this to Tybo up the gut, and they don't give him the first, so bit of a poor spot. He was turned around, though, so I guess the ball wasn't across the line, as we have a 3rd and short here for the Golden Eagles. A 3 and out is not what you want here. They got to find a way. They're going to just toss it out to Tybo, who gets the edge and a lot more. He gets 11 there. Beautiful block from the offensive line. Tybo having a decent day. 54 yards, 2 touchdowns. So Southern Miss really needs to mount a response here. Touchdown would put them right back at 2 scores, as they're actually going to audible into shotgun. They are going to throw it. White has time. He does evade him, and he slides. He was about to meet 2 guys. That was a great idea to slide there. Keeping your body healthy. So 2nd and 1 across the 50. Just outside the 40, as we're back in the option formation. I don't know if this is flexbone, wishbone, whatever. As Trey White goes down, and that's what they got to do. You've got to contain the quarterback. He's been the X factor today. Make DJ Hall beat you. Make Tybo beat you on the edge, because Trey White has shown he is an X factor in the open field. So 3rd and 2. Right back into the same formation. Oh, they almost get him to jump. They're going to run quick option. White, and he falls forward for the first down despite getting hit by 3 separate Troy Trojans. Oh, boy. He still found a way to get through the triple bag Trojans there. First and 10, quick option. There's always one of those.
I'm gonna hear this on BearCave, aren't I?
And adding
Got
that
gotta
thing
gotta
is
gotta
the
throw the prime TC dad joke in there every once in a while.
yes, sir. So now 2nd and 9 after a bit of a mediocre run. They're back in shotgun. Are they going to throw it? They are. Only 3-man rushing, and they still get through, but he yams it deep. He hits his man, and that's going to be a touchdown. Lionel Clifford for 39. Southern Miss re-extends the lead. And we didn't think they had it in them. That was a beautiful yam. I mean, for being honest, it's a bit of a diet yam, but it still worked. Still on time. It's still very pretty. As we got 28-17 now.
It looked like a Flynn
Go
Sanders
goals.
type of yam, you know?
Yeah, it was a wet noodle yam that just found the hands. That was a wet noodle. As Troy now, all the momentum kind of curbed after that field goal. But 28-17. Still plenty of time here for Troy, especially if you keep building Wandale's confidence. If he's able to throw it deep, if he's able, to hit his men, people actually catch the ball, they're still in this game. So Wandale, plenty of time as he throws a wobbler, but it's a first down. Albert Davis brings it in. And they're going to actually hurry it up. They like the formation. He's 17-26 on the day. Wandale, he's yamming this one deep, and that's a cannon, and it's about 20 yards overthrown. You got to reel that one in, sucker. That was a bit of a, and that's a true gunslinger there. He's definitely a Joe Milton type. So it's 2nd and 10 now. Dumping that off, and that's going to be go for 3. It's 3rd and 7 now. 40% on 3rd down today. Gotta get this one. Hootie has time. He delivers a strike over the middle, and that's going to be a big gain. Albert Davis for 25. So as 3rd quarter starts to wind down, Troy is going to have to start finding some scoring possessions, trim this lead. As you know, Southern Miss is going to start bleeding that clock as soon as we enter the 4th quarter. Fresh set down, so we're at the 35. Dumps that off, and that is going to be a spin, and Al Elliott gets 9. So 20 of 30 now, over 225 yards. 2nd and 1. Hootie over the middle, and it's tipped and it's dropped. Another miscommunication. And now it's 3rd down. Man, that's the 3rd big drop of the day. So obviously we haven't really seen Ames get much involved here in the 2nd half. As this one's going to be a jet sweep, and I don't understand it. You have one of the best running backs in the country. Why don't you run it with him? Instead, you give it to your 4th receiver who gets chopped down by Quay Camaro on the edge.
Does this mean we have to call Faceless Ames Chocolate Vic?
28-17 as we enter the 4th quarter, and no, you're more no, Vanilla Vic. Just watch game day today. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
I mean, you are going against Boss Hennessy, so
True.
I'm not expecting much from Tennessee.
As 4th and 3, they go for it, and that goes nowhere. Wandale couldn't convert on the option. And a couple of just boneheaded calls there ruin a great drive. So now Southern Miss, they had the scare in the 3rd quarter, but they could definitely really bleed this clock a lot of the way down if they run a 6-minute offense. Flips that out to Tybo, and he loses 2. Tommy Davis.
You mentioned. Oh, I was just gonna say that you mentioned the G5 auto bet, how they really needing other teams to lose. A big game on BearCave. UNLV, San Diego State, both undefeated in conference. San Diego State actually having the edge at 5-0 compared to 4-0 for UNLV. You mentioned that in the playoff push that they're entering the toughest stretch of their season, facing, the top teams in the Mountain West now. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, them and Tulane as well. They have a gimme game this week, I think, LA Tech, but they're going to start a big three-game stretch as well. As that's an overthrow for Trey White, and the clock stops. So questionable decision there from B-Dog gives Troy the ball back as we are approaching that 8-minute mark. Looks like they're coming after this one. Can they get there? No, not even close. But they are going to get a bit of a return as it was a max cover. Plenty of yardage there. Ryan Morgan for 16. So Wandale Hootie comes back out with face to Ames after a rough ending to the previous drive. They have another chance here. Got to have a short memory, find a way to convert now. They fake it to Ames. And he yams this one deep down the right side. He has a step, and it's tipped away. Pablo Smalls, you're not going to get him with that. A man who was part of that glorious Georgia Southern run, faced Oklahoma, was really the only player in that game for Georgia Southern that played well. And Ames runs over 3 men for a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Airborne here, this is 4-down territory, just because you really need the momentum to swing to the other side. After that one yam by Wandale Hootie, you've seen the offense just be completely stagnant. You really can't rely on your defense again because, like you said, triple option teams very, very dangerous, and that could bleed another 3 to 4 minutes on the clock. So I'm definitely expecting Troy to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, and Albert Davis, man, have yourself a day. He's been a great outlet target, especially with all these other guys dropping the ball. And now when you finally give it to Ames, you give it to him on the short side, and he gets -2 as Alex Duckett brings him down. Ames only 56 yards on the day, not the best day he's ever going to have, as Troy's still under that 300-yard mark. So 2nd and 12, just across the 50. Time starting to become a factor here as they hand it off to Ames again. Breaks one. They try to strip him. I think that was Larry Toro, and he only gets about 1. It's 3rd and 11 now. Pretty obvious 4-down territory at this point. Hootie back in shotgun. 3-down lineman, plenty of time here. He yams that down the seam, and he hits his man. He cuts inside, gets a block. Touchdown, Troy. Al Elliott for 48. Wandale Hootie is a yam waiting to happen.
This is win or lose. Coach Airborne has to be so happy with his team on game day. This is the 2nd time in a row where even if they don't win these games, or even if they do win, like in when Coastal Carolina happened, like it was just, you're seeing so much potential. Remember, this is a freshman quarterback, so Coach Airborne's got a lot to be excited about for the years to come in the Sun Belt.
Oh yeah, Wandale Hootie is definitely a threat. As you get a hurdle, oh my, that could have been dangerous, as John Henley could have put the ball up for grabs there. So still now only a 4-point game. Troy has found a way to exploit the #1 defense in the country. Now we got to see Southern Miss once again come back, put together a drive, score some points, or bleed out the clock. As Trey White's having himself a day, up over 125 yards already. As we are now approaching that time, as we under 6 minutes, Southern Miss is going to start shortening the game. So it's going to be up to Troy to get the ball back here. They're going to throw it here out from under center. We're yamming it deep, and it's way overthrown. Tommy Davis on coverage. That one never had a chance.
Looking like Tavarius Trace there. What a throw. My goodness.
So 3rd and 7 now. Safety's cheating up. And safety blitzes, and he sacked him! Oh no, the balls, they call it an incompletion. I don't know about that. But now, two incompletions when you're running offense, the clock stops. Like, what is Southern Miss doing here?
Clearly, that is the tuck rule if I've ever seen one, being a Patriots fan. So,
As we get a return now, and they get a nice block using the sideline and a big hit. But Troy now, they are in the position they've been fighting for in the second half. They have the ball, down a score. Can they take the lead? Wandale Hootie has been electric in the second half. Does he have a little bit more magic in him? If they keep doing this and not blitzing him, he will, as he gets about 9 there. Brian Jones.
I mean, you said it too. Like, they have just let Wandale Hootie throw it all over this defense, and it's really sort of made the secondary frustrated. Just try and get a stop because the defensive line for Southern Miss is just not doing anything.
And that's going to be a quick first down to Al Elliott. He's up over 100 yards after the yam on the last drive. And Hootie now up over 300 on the day. We're back under center. Is this where they get Ames involved, establish the run? No, they're still going to throw it as they're floating. That one, that was dangerous. But Brian Jones brings it in for 9 again. So 2nd and 1, we are under 5 minutes. This game very well could come down to who has the ball last. 2nd and 1, cross the 45. Hootie, he has some time. He's yamming it, but no, he's hit. DeAndre Moose, the SFA middle linebacker, his 2nd sack of the day. Working on the right guard. He gets through and just gets to him before the yam is let loose.
I mean, that was a very... I'm surprised that wasn't a fumble. What a hard hit that Wandale Hootie just took.
The hand strength from Hootie there. As they bring a blitz now, 3rd and 9. Al Elliott is short, and now there's another decision here. Do you go for it if you're Troy? I think you have to. And yeah, they're going to go for it. So game arguably on the line here. Remember, they still have those timeouts if they don't get it here. Hootie, he has a little bit of time, dumps it short, and it's incomplete. Turnover on down. Southern Miss takes over. And once again, the #1 defense in the country may not be playing like it today. However, they show up when it matters the most. The linebacker blitz gets the sack, the tip away there. And now the offense, can they close it out? A couple of first downs will win them the game. Triple option, or just regular option, load option, and that is Tybo, -2. And Troy does not choose to take a timeout here.
Yeah, and back to when Troy was on offense. They keep going back to Al Elliott, which is good because you always should go to the hot hand on offense, but I mean, he was triple covered there. I mean,
Yeah,
anyone else would have been in... Anywhere else would have been in single coverage.
Oh, and they give it to the fullback, and he gets a big-time first down. Nobody thought he was going to fullback. David Robinson untouched for 16. That would have been a touchdown had he not been tripped up. So now it's actually smart that Troy didn't use those timeouts, as they still retain all 3 of them. But now this is where you have to have it. No more first downs. They hand it back to the fullback. Another big run, and he falls forward for another. Holy Toledo, David Robinson, averaging 9 a rush.
Death, taxes, and a fullback doing good in Patreon watch party. To this day, I do not understand it.
As we get another one, there he goes again! Down the seam, David Robinson having the drive of his life. And now this is where Troy starts calling the timeouts, as a touchdown here will pretty much end the game. Field goal would still keep it 1 score, as they're going to fake it. They're actually going to throw it here, and it's tipped away. Trey White getting I don't know why you go away from the hot hand and you stop the clock. You gave him a free timeout. Questionable play calls here for B-Dog. He's got 2nd and goal now, as they're going to run jet sweep here to Roberson, and he gets about maybe 1. It's like they're going to mark him at the original line of scrimmage, as we got a 3rd down. 3rd and goal here from the 9. Can Southern Miss get a touchdown? Can be a screen pass. He hits his man. Can they get out there? He breaks a tackle, and he stretches. No! Tybo is short.
Questionable, too, because they take the timeout even though he went out of bounds. So now they do not have any timeouts, and they need to score a touchdown, barring the field goal.
So they kick the field goal, and it's now back to a 1-score game, but Troy does their job, I guess. They get the ball back.
And TC, who would have thought a 75 overall fullback is dominating this game? It's how many weeks has it been over the season where we've just seen we saw a tight end at running back this season. I do not understand what's going on when it comes to Patreon watch parties and fullbacks. It's utterly ridiculous.
When you watch the lower echelon of the SFA, things get a little crazy. You get desperate. As he yam it deep and he hits his man! Oh my! One play tie ball game. Brian Jones. Wandale Hootie ties up the game. His 3rd yam of the day.
I'm sorry. What? Barring the extra
goes
point,
the dynamite, baby.
This isn't Wandale Hootie. Oh my God!
Oh, I wanted him to go for 2. I wanted him to go for 2 there. How about Wandale Hootie? The second half he's had today. 3 just massive yams. He might have a stronger arm than Fedro Bautista. As we're going to get a return now. Southern Miss is shocked. They thought for sure they had the win. They were like an inch short of a touchdown on the last drive. They had to settle for 3. And now they have to get points.
And how does B-Dog feel? He left when his team was up. Now look what the score is right now.
It's just one of those things. And he gets it off before the... the sack. But 2nd and 3, clock is running. All the chips, though, are in Southern Miss's hands. They can drive down, get a field goal, win the game. Or they can take it to OT. Trey White. Yes, time. Dumps that off. That's going to be Tybo. He's going to be short. Oh, boy. And if you're Southern Miss, you got to be careful. You do not want to give Wandale even a yam. As they're going to take a timeout here to think about it. They really need to pick this up. Fans are getting involved now. Back to the triple option. Give it to the fullback, and he gets a hearty gain there up to midfield. He's up to 75 yards on the ground. What a day for David Robinson. As we're now at their own 44. They are going to throw it this time, dumping that one off to the running back. Tybo gets 9 himself. So 10-16 now. He's had to throw it a bit more. But 2nd and 1. Cobbs will come back into the game. White delivers that quickly, and there's DJ Anderson. We haven't called his name too much today, as that's his first touch. But it's a big one, a big first down. As you got to think they're about 15, 20 yards away from a field goal. 49 seconds left on the clock. Trey White. He's yamming this one deep himself, and it's a diving grab. Lionel Clifford. What a grab.
Just an outstanding catch. The Detroit defender was in the vicinity, too. What a catch. And that all but seals it, barring a miracle.
Yeah, I think the Troy guy lost it in the lights. He just never seemed to turn around. He didn't have a good beat on that. So Cans of the Miss are going to throw it to the end zone, and it's intercepted! What are you doing? Nobody was in the area. Trey White. Was he trying to throw that away? What are you doing?
What is happening this game, TC? You need to let me know if the script is actively being played. Because what is going on?
29 seconds for Troy. And he hits down the seam again, and they bring him down. Oh, my God. If you are Southern Miss, get back. Drop
I'm
back.
sick.
Hootie is over 400. They are in desperate. Oh, dear. Here we go. Wandale, he's throwing it deep again, and it overthrown.
It's really good that they had the overthrow right there, because at least you stopped the clock. But I mean, what do you
18
listen? You are
seconds.
cooking with this script, TC. You are cooking with this script.
Southern Miss, their season practically on the line. He floats this one out. It stepped away. Ty Hagelwood brings it in, or brings it down. 14 seconds left. Couple of yam opportunities now for Wandale. What a game. 31-31. Hootie. Over the middle. That's going to be a first down. Brian Jones, they're going to have to hurry this up. Remember, they do not have a timeout. So they're hurrying it up, hurrying it up, hurrying it up. Are they going to spike it? Looks like they're going to wait for one play left. Yes.
And if anyone can do it in one play, it's Wandale Hootie, TC.
Yeah, 4 seconds left on the 42. Overtime or another Troy miracle. They bring a blitz, and they get to him! Triple zeros on the clock. We got some free football, baby. What a day. What a game. Somehow this is going to OT. I can't believe Southern Miss just threw away the win like that. And they're going to start out on offense here.
Remember, Troy did pick defense. So very interesting play call by them.
And that's dumped off to Xavion Luvu. So Southern Miss now on the drive. And overtime is a different animal. You can't yam it deep. So I think you got to give the advantage to Southern Miss here. But we never know what's going to happen. 2nd and inches. Fakes it. Dumps that off to Tybo. He has a lot of room. He tries to find the edge, and he gets a first down. Looks like our UI has disappeared here in overtime. The stats operator, he went home early. So 1st and 10. Triple option time is quick option, and he's brought down. Trey White couldn't get the pitch off. Oh, man, you can just feel the tension in the air. Southern Miss all day has felt like they just had it. They had it. Troy never gave up, and they are somehow here in OT as we get back to the Maryland Eye, stacking the box. Quick option. Trey White keeps it. He breaks that tackle, and he gets maybe one. I thought he's injured there for a second, but no.
I think he's trying to flop on the ground, trying to get a call from the ref, but unfortunately he did not get that call.
So 3rd and 11 here. They got to get a score. Give me a screen pass. He does. This is Roberson, and he can't break the tackle. Troy gets a stop here in the opening frame.
And I mean, all the momentum is on Troy's side. This is absurd. I'm sorry, but this is just an absurd game to watch.
And that is going to be good, as I almost gave up a game score right before game day starts. Phew. Oh man, this is a good one. All right, so for Troy, anything, a touchdown wins you the game, a field goal, we go to a 2nd frame, anything less and Southern Miss escapes. What does Wandale have in store for us? Only 3 down linemen, dumps this one off to Elliott. That's going to be about 4. So I think this is a lot harder of a situation for Troy than you might think. They've been yamming it deep all day long. You can't really yam it 20 yards away. So 2nd and 6 now. They're going to bring a blitz. Hootie escapes. He breaks a tackle. Oh, I thought he was going to bounce off that one too. But DeAndre Moose brings him down. So a chance here for Southern Miss to get off the field, extend it to another frame. 4 wide. Ames in the backfield. We've not called his name hardly at all in the second half. They give it to him here. He gets the first. 11 yards from another massive upset. A win, despite the record at 4-5, a win right here gives Troy wins over the 2 best teams in the conference.
Like I said, this could win them their division if they do get a score here.
Aims up the middle, and they're trying to strip him. He gets about 7. So 5 yards away from a touchdown.
TC, they're delaying the inevitable. I can just feel it. I can sense it.
To walk it off. Hootie. It's going to be a screen pass. Oh, it's almost picked. That was it. Pablo Smalls. You had it. 3rd and 3. Oh my, everything on the line here. They give it to Ames. Ames, he can't do anything. Southern Miss gets the stop. And we may be going to another frame. So a kick here to tie up the game, send us to a second overtime. Kick is up, the hold is there. And it's good. 34-34. We've got double OT. And somebody wants to just post in like general saying, hey, watch party, game crashed. Now it's in second overtime. So game day might be delayed a minute or two. As we flip sides here, Troy, they get it now first. They're going deep to the end zone. Touchdown, Troy! Albert Davis gives them the lead. Holy Toledo, this game is insane.
TC, I'm too young to have a heart attack like this. This is just too much suspense. I'm just in shock.
You wanna talk about a breakout performance. I was talking about Tracy Potes, all these other guys. Wandale Hootie putting on a performance. He beat CJ Irons head to head. Put some respect on this guy's name. Is now
I told you, man.
Miss has to score. Wide open man. That's Xavier Luvu. He gets inside the 10. Oh man, this game. What's the Sun Belt equivalent of Maction? Sabaction?
No.
I don't know, but we've got a 1st and goal in the option. Fake it to the fullback, dump it off to Tybo. Can he get to the corner? No. Once again stopped. He had
This
the
is
chance.
a big test. Big test for this Troy defensive line. Can they hold them? A goal line stand wins them the division.
2nd and goal. Trey White, it's going to be quick option. He keeps it, and he gets nothing. Big time stop there. They are playing the edge miraculously. Look at the block shedding. So 3rd and goal. Remember, they have to go for it here if they don't score. Coming out. Split backs. Luvu, bottom of your screen. White over the middle is hit and dropped. A massive play from the linebacker, and the game is on the line. 4th and goal. Troy could win the game here. Trey White in shotgun. Pippinger in motion. 4th and goal from the 5. White, they bring a blitz in. They get to him! Troy does it! A miraculous comeback. A miraculous upset here in Southern Miss. 41-34 is the final in double overtime. Troy, 5-5, has now beaten Coastal Carolina and Southern Miss. Holy smokes. Behind that man and that man only. Wandale Hootie, learn the name. 31 of 47. 400 and a bazillion yards and 4 yams. An unbelievable day, an unbelievable comeback. Watch out for Troy, folks. This team's insane. Can we see Troy getting into the CFP? 5-loss Troy?
All right, bro. That's a little too
5-loss Troy? I mean, now they're the team to beat in the Sun Belt West or whatever that we're in over here. Is this the East?
I believe this is the East, yeah. Or the West. I don't know. That's actually a good question.
Holy Toledo, what did we just watch? And I feel so bad for B-Dog, who's going to come back and see this.
He is going to come back and just see
incredible game.
his facilities are gonna be on fire when he returns, and he's gonna have. Oh man, what a sour way to come back from a date too. Oh.
The best defense in the nation completely collapsed. Just a true and utter, just horrible, horrible, horrible. All right, so as always, let's see how the game panned out. Like we said, it was a 21-7 lead, and then Troy battled back, but they were still down by 2 scores. Even late, they were down by 2 scores. But this field goal, this was the moment. You got the yam. They got the stop on the goal line, made them settle for a field goal. Keep it at 7. You got the 75-yard bomb. And then in OT, it was field goal, touchdown, Troy. And they do the unthinkable. As Trey White, he had himself a pretty good game. I mean, obviously, the part of this that ruined it for him was they had the win in the bag, and he threw an interception, I guess, trying to throw the ball away there late. I have no idea what he was doing. Trey White, Tybo Rogers didn't have the yardage you'd think. Would have liked him to give the fullback a little bit more run there in the overtime frame. You got Tybo Rogers, Lionel Clifford kind of saving them there. Man, what a disappointing way to end it. DeAndre Moose, 3 TFLs. He had 2 sacks himself, 4 total, and the 1 interception was James Taylor. A lot of deflections here, a lot of missed opportunities. And that's just kind of the story of the day here for Southern Miss. Felt like the win was in the bag. Almost a exact copy of what happened with Coastal, only this one went to double OT, but 31 of 47, 455 yards. Wandale Hootie, this guy is electric. You got to watch out for this man when he is live on a stream, as they could not run the ball at all today. This was all 100% Wandale Hootie through the air, as he spread the ball around generously. Look at this. As Adam Atkins, he showed up there late. Obviously, John Wood played a big part. He had 3 TFLs. 2 sacks here for Tim Ward, both on the same drive. You had the interception from Willie Nelson there at the end. The deflection from Spicer, the fumble, that was a big turning point as well. And just an all-around crazy, crazy matchup. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to go immediately into game day here in probably the next couple of minutes. Peace.